I was adopted when I was 10 months old, and I have two brothers. One is Andrew, and he's older than me, and he's not adopted. And then one is Jack, and he's younger than me, and he was adopted. He was adopted when he was 2.5. Growing up, my dad told me that I was adopted, but like as a kid, I didn't really know what that meant. I was just like, okay, cool. And he was like really, so our family is like really Italian. And so he never really wanted, like, he was like, yeah, you're from China, but like you're Italian. And so as a little kid, I didn't get that like culture and race were two different things. So I knew that like my family was Italian, but I also like accepted that as like I was biologically Italian and not Chinese, because like if I ever brought it up with my dad, he'd be like, you're not Chinese, you're Italian. Even today, if I mention that I'm adopted, he'd be like, oh, that's stupid. Like, I don't even think about that. Like, he means like well, but he's just really weird. So as like a kid, like growing up, I would like think I was like white and I was Italian. So when people would be like, so like, I'd be like, tell kids like in my like age that I was Italian, they'd be like, no, you're not, you're Chinese, and I'd get really upset. I'd be like, no, I'm Italian. And one time I had a fight with Savannah about who's more Italian, because I didn't know, like, I had no idea what like race was, and I had no idea that like I was different from my family, because like there was no like difference, like environmental, like my parents didn't treat me different than they treated Andrew or Jack. Like Andrew was older, so he had like all the teachers before me, and when I told them that I was Andrew's sister, they would be surprised at first, but then like look at our last names and like realize we were actually related. Also, one time when we were like way older and Andrew was lifeguarding in Chatham, I went to bring him lunch, and his lifeguard partner on the stand with him was like, how do you know Andrew? And it's like funny because like we never like think about like how people will perceive us. Like I like never like question that he's like my brother, like, and he doesn't question it either. So when people are like, oh, like how do you two know each other, we're like, what? Like we're siblings. Like we think it's obvious, but like to people who don't know our family and don't know like that I'm adopted, they're like, they see two people who looked completely different, and they would never assume that we're related. Also, another thing is that people think that Jack and I are twins, because apparently all Asians look alike. But whatever, that's another thing. Like when people see like me and Andrew together, they'll be like, oh yeah, like she's adopted. But then when Jack comes along and he's also Chinese, they get kind of confused. They're like, so is Andrew adopted? No, seriously, people think that.